out in a Gimp, man, you better be proud.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, you better have a certain
Proud of who you are.
new boot goof
I
and
don't think
walk.
pride
to your-
goes with gimping, though. Yeah, gimping ain't
Pride comes before the
gimping ain't
gimping.
easy, as they say.
Yeah.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population you. Population Cook. Kelsey Cook, welcome to the show. Hi, Somerset. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me back, guys.
Our favorite foosballer comedian.
Second.
Second favorite foosballer, first favorite
Our
comedian.
favorite
comedian
your parents.
champion foosballer.
There you go.
Why are you? Whose parents are in the Foosball Hall of Fame, and Dad plays the trumpet. So, trumpet?
Trumpet, yeah. And Yo-Yo Man. Just a weird carny
I love it.
lifestyle.
I love it. There was no other option than for you to go into comedy. You're like the only person who went into comedy, and your parents were like, "Thank God you went into something stable."
I know, that's seriously. They're like,
Your
way
mom
to
was like,
go.
"At least you're not like your dad. You're doing something smart, right? You're really figuring this shit out."
Yeah, my brother went into finance. He was like, "I can't be a part of this."
Your mother's
Like,
like,
this is-
I can't even talk. That's like a middle finger to both parents and you. I'm going into finance.
Yeah, he's like, enough of this.
What an
clown
idiot.
shit.
That's his rebellion.
Yeah, they're like, this isn't
Just
what we
to
had
make
planned for
money.
you.
Yeah.
You
Be
were supposed to
stable.
start your own cotton candy stand.
Well, here's the good news, Kelsey Cook. The world's gotten dumber since the last time you were on this show. Yeah,
and
it still keeps
surprise
going that
me.
direction, right? I was like, we're going through the stories that our awesome fans send us. So now they send it because we've sort of changed it since the last time we did this. Dan does a story, Jay does a story, and I do a story.
Oh, fun.
Each of us. It's not all Dan, so that's fun. So people send us stories at Sklar Brothers, at Daniel Van Kirk, hashtag Dumb People Town. And we're going through the stories, and we're like just at the end of October right now. It's insane that we
my
have this crazy
gosh.
backlog. Just telling us that the world. There was a
continues
time where we once said, Dan, are we going to have we got another guest, and we're like, are we going to have enough stories? He's like, I'm at the end. We're never going to be at the end again. Kelsey. There's just a backlog. So
That's fantastic.
let's jump into a story right now, and then we'll talk about all the awesome stuff you have going on, including good stand-up stuff. So
I have the first one.
all right, Daniel, start us off. Let's
It was sent
go.
in by Jake Groney2 at Jake Groney2.
I want him to change his Twitter handle to Grony, but to spell it like Tony.
Tony.
Like,
Yes, for
The
sure.
one of them's T-O-N-E-Y, one of them's T-O-N-I, one of them's T-O-N-E-E. Anyway,
You think Jake Groney 1 was taken?
if it was, I'm going to be mad. By him. This is his burner account. He's like, how dare
Shady
I?
shit on the
Because this
internet.
happens to some people. I don't know if it happens to you. I bet it happens to you. You guys don't have anyone else with your same name that you found, right?
So I
Because
think
there's got to be another Kelsey Cook.
There's a Jason Sklar.
Yes.
There is a Jason Sklar?
There is.
Okay.
What
Oh,
does
yeah,
the
I guess
other
I
Kelsey
have met
Cook
Sklars
do?
that weren't
So
me.
she's a drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you search my name, sometimes she will pop up. We'll do this, but then I've got a
No,
story
we
for
can
you.
do anything.
You do whatever
Okay.
you want. Say it. Go.
So they so my special's coming out in a couple weeks, and the production company had put together this like surprise poster for me, just as like a congrats,
Awesome.
this is cool.
Amazing.
But whoever had put my picture on there, like they show me the poster and I'm like, that doesn't look like me. I'm like, it kind of looks like, but I was like, I've never taken that picture before.
Yeah.
I was going through my mind, I've never taken that picture. So I tell my managers, they look at it, they're like, no, that's definitely not you. They go, wait, let me look. They Google searched my name. They scrolled on images for a while.
It was her.
There's a fitness blogger in Florida named Kelsey Cook that's also blonde.
No.
And whoever was in charge of making that poster just saw this other blonde girl and
Whipped
was
right
like,
by it.
But also had
it's
to
Kelsey.
scroll to that.
Yeah, they wanted one that was a side profile because they made a foosball player out of me. So they needed a side shot, and they saw this girl. They just assumed it was me because her name was also Kelsey Cook. So there are these promotional posters out there with like Kelsey Cook, the Hustler tour. Not even me. Not even me, and it's kind of
they hustled everyone with that. See, and the good news is your abs look
Total
amazing
dude.
in this photo. You look, I mean, it's insane. You're like, I've never trained my
so
delts
shredded.
that much.
There's a couple other Daniel Van Kirks. There's one for like personal people in my. I go by Daniel, but
Right.
personal friends and stuff like that call me Dan. So this guy, I'm at Daniel Van Kirk on everything.
Yeah.
But this guy is at Dan Van Kirk. And so he's gotten like quite a few followers.
He's getting so many.
He doesn't
Yeah.
tell anybody.
Okay.
But if you look at the photo, if you think that's me, we need to meet.
So Dan,
No offense to the guy. We just don't.
Dan.
He sits a lot more than I do. That's all I'm going to say.
The best, Dan, you've been there. Have you been to Ted Drew's in St. Louis? Please tell me.
Are
you've
you
been there.
insane?
Okay.
We
So
took
Ted
him.
Drew's is the best frozen
We've been
custard
together.
ever.
I've been
okay.
multiple times
All right,
without
so
you.
if you're the
I bought
ever-
Ted Drew's from the vending
know.
machine at the airport.
So we told you this story.
then I go like this.
Next, across the tiny
Turtle
little street
Concrete.
on the same side of the street as Ted Drew's is like an institution in St. Louis, is a little Velvet Freeze, which was like a Baskin Robbins, but a local one. And I'm like, why in the world would you have a Velvet Freeze next to the greatest frozen custard in the world?
yeah.
Because
They got them.
sometimes the lines are so
You
long.
have to spill over.
You get a little
Ted
Velvet.
Drew's runoff.
We call it the Velvet Freeze runoff. So Dan Van Kirk is getting a little
He can have
Velvet
it.
Freeze runoff.
Yes,
from
you
your
are.
followers.
You can have it.
That's
let's get into the
that's
story.
when we used to go out when we were single, like in our 20s, with like a really extremely good-looking friend of ours.
Like we'll get
Everyone's gonna want him, but he can only get one. We'll get
We'll
the
take the
runoff,
rest.
and that's
Take the
fine.
Velvet
Give
Freeze
us the
runoff.
crumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Velvet
yeah.
Freeze.
There's
Yeah.
there's a whole like mathematical equation about that in A Beautiful Mind, where he's like, everybody talks to her. I'm interested in her. I'm gonna. You should watch it. Okay, ready to do a story?
Yes, let's do it.
Thank you, Jake Gurney. Guys, headline: There are fears Gimp Man has returned.
Who?
You heard my ass.
Gimp Man?
Does Gimp Man know
Man.
Slenderman?
Dude, this is nightmare fuel. It is
He's
exactly.
wearing a zip-up mask.
Take everything you know from Pulp Fiction and put it on your neighborhood street late at night.
What?
Jeez.
Just walking down the street attached to a wire?
Wait. Am I wrong to say? I don't know why I'm pointing at you. The Gimp is subservient.
Oh my God.
So should we be
dude.
worried that
Is he
he's
solving crime?
He's waiting to be told what to do, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm like-
he's a sub in search of a home.
right? He needs somebody to order him around. That's all.
Get out of here. What are you doing?
Thank you. Thank
No,
you.
you
Thank
know
you.
what? Crawl.
Thank
You gotta
Madison.
crawl
Thank you.
away.
Just coming over and over.
Sniff
You
the
gotta
glove.
crawl away.
Smell the glove.
Okay, here's the story. A very sinister man. First of all,
Is he sinister?
is he a man?
That's
We
a great
do not know
question.
if he's
Sure,
a male or
okay.
female. There's no.
Her management didn't know who
Sure.
was the right Kelsey
Yeah.
Cook.
Yeah.
This guy's like,
we know
look, there's
nothing."
another Gimp Man. That's not me.
That's Gimp Man with two ends.
Right. A very sinister man dressed head to toe in a Gimp suit has returned to terrorize sleepy Somerset villages. This comes from metro.co.uk.
Just showing up.
Yanton and Claversham. At some point, I know
Yanton
that
and
they're older than
Claversham.
us, but I think that like
Is
the
that
UK
like the-
got bored and we're just combining other names.
Yeah,
Havers for
how
sure,
is that
clam.
really-
Claversham.
To me, Yatton
Claversham.
and Haversham is definitely the British Rizzolian Isles, but it's
yes.
also the British Shields and Yarnell. Like they
For
do
sure. Yeah.
weird sort of
robotic dancing.
robotic mimes work.
They have been plagued by the latex-clad pest since 2018, who appears late at night to stalk and terrify the locals.
I don't like them.
Despite arresting two people in connection with the case, police are still yet to identify or stop the man known as Gimp Man, which means they arrested two of
other
Gimp Man's
people.
friends, but
Yeah.
they won't roll over on
Wow.
Gimp Man?
I mean, is this like
What would you
was
arrest two
Andy
other people
Kaufman? What's the other guy's?
Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton.
How many
type
Tony
of
Cliftons
scenario?
are there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're saying this isn't the Gimp Man, so I don't even know what they arrested the two
I
associates
think they should
for,
just arrest Alan Zweibel just to be safe.
just to be safe.
Also, this story ensures that it is definitely not me because of my severe latex allergy.
Thank you.
We rule out, I mean, in terms of
Yeah,
detective work,
yeah,
there's
you're
a
out,
large
sure.
portion of the population.
I'm out.
And
Yeah.
my claustrophobia. I couldn't
There,
handle.
see? Yeah.
You couldn't handle a
Sometimes
latex.
I'll see a woman with like a choker or a guy with a tight turtleneck, and I'm like, just how can you get that off your neck?
Do you just start going like?
What was the old Mitch Hedberg joke? Like wearing a turtleneck is being strangled by like a really weak person.
person.
Yeah, that's great.
Great.
It now appears that the shadowy figure has returned yet again to claim another victim. When we say victim, we just mean scare.
Right.
Also, as far as I can tell, and we'll get into it, does nothing other than stand there.
Yeah.
Or
Which
maybe
is
like
also
walk
pretty
towards
chilling.
you. Which,
is-
of course.
Thank you.
But I'm not about to do a story where like someone got assaulted.
Okay.
Yeah, but so in an age where we're like really upset with people for saying certain things that are triggering,
Yeah.
this is legitimately triggering to have like a random stranger
Oh my God.
show up. So
course.
I think it's okay to run him over and kill him. I'm not in a bad way.
No.
Not in a mean way.
Just
Not in a
an I
violent
didn't
way.
see you there.
Just
He
in
is
a,
in all black.
Just in a,
I mean, it is a shadow. It's like
you showed up in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm not a great driver. I'm gonna go over you, then back over you, then back over you again, because I don't know what I'm running over.
yeah, you would
And
be
you might
perfect
like it.
for it. You've got glasses.
Yeah,
You'd have
Jay,
that way
Jay.
about you. Could be like, I
have a
couldn't
difficult
see.
time
Yeah.
seeing things like gimp men in my neighborhood.
Kira Elston, 19 years old, and her boyfriend were walking home after getting out of a taxi. Have the taxi drop you off.
Yeah, what are we? Why
Just
even take the
I'm
test?
all in favor of. I have friends of mine who are women, and they'll be like, "I have the Uber drop me off like 3 houses from my house, just because I don't need anybody knowing exactly where I
Exactly.
live." Certainly,
Yeah.
fine, whatever. But if you're with a couple and it's a taxi, this person's pretty traceable.
Yeah.
Pull up to the house.
Yeah.
Also, like,
We get out. We want to walk the last 2
is this
blocks.
like your parents and you're like at a mall and you're in 7th grade? Just drop me off a block.
Yeah.
Corner, I'll
Yeah.
walk. I want anyone to see that we came by taxi.
Well, they were walking home after getting out of a taxi in Yatton around 1 a.m. on Sunday when Gimp Man emerged from the shadows and started walking towards them with his arms outstretched.
Just
Oh
wants to
my
give a hug.
God.
Well, yeah, that's a big difference. One of them is very like Lizard King, right?
And then
and
one
the
is-
other is this
This.
hug
Or
movement.
like,
you're
or,
doing.
yeah,
This
look
is what
at
I'm
her.
picturing as like full
Reaching
Yeah.
for breath.
thriller zombie. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Or
honking.
the one
Only
to
the guy.
strangle you.
Yeah.
We have a photo that'll be thrown up here. I've already shown it to you guys.
Okay.
Here's an up close of Gimp Man if you want to see
Yeah, I'd love to
Gimp
see
Man's face.
Oh my God.
God.
Is this in the Marvel universe?
It's in the metaverse.
It's scary. Yeah. Okay.
It's the Gimpaverse.
Yeah, exactly. Starts walking towards him with their arms outstretched. She had not been worrying about someone popping out of the darkness.
No
I'd
one
say that's
has.
normal
Yeah.
day-to-day life.
She's going to walk from the taxi, take the several block walk home, and I'm not going to worry about it.
She didn't worry about it because she was with her boyfriend, but he suddenly shouted, "Kira, there's a man," as they approached a roundabout.
I
They
think he
were far
also
from
said,
their
do
house.
something about it.
Yeah. for
Kira,
sure.
there's a man. Get him.
By the time we saw him, he was very close, and my boyfriend just told me to run.
Ooh. Good boyfriend.
So I think you can kill him.
He cares about her.
I think we can kill him. I don't think that's like.
By the way, he cares about her.
Have you guys seen
Do we
the-
have like a height on this guy?
Well, by the positioning next to the car, I would say somewhere around 6 feet.
Yeah, he's definitely
God.
5'10", 5'11". It's
He's not little. He's
Yeah,
not
no.
like 5'4".
Yeah.
That is so scary.
Have you
That
guys
is really
seen the
scary.
documentary about the people who went to go visit the volcano on Netflix and it goes off? Like it erupts while tour, like there
Standing
were
on-
3 tours. One was walking towards, they kind of do them in groups, right? So as things go, the tour that had just been up to the edge and taking pictures and stuff, they were about halfway back to the beach.
Oh my God.
And then the people that had just got dropped off, they were about halfway to the rim. And there was a group that had just started to walk away from the rim when this volcano exploded. People should watch it.
Did they all
I'm
die?
not giving anything away. I'm not going to give anything away.
my God.
However, no, you know that right away. Just the first couple interviews while people are like covered in like burn scars, and you're
right.
like, okay, you lived.
Right.
But
was the let me
but
just
I've
ask this,
wondered-
was the volcano satisfied?
but I've wondered in that scenario, like if it was the 4 of us, run, like
Run.
just
Just
run
get out of there.
Don't
Fast
be
as you-
like, oh, Daniel, like make sure you come where. No,
No.
fuck that.
There's no
Like,
conversation.
just absolutely.
Let's have this conversation while we're sprinting.
Run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder for them, like, do you try to run from Gimp Man together, or do you just tell your
Separate.
partner?
Meet
I
you
don't
home.
care which direction you go, just run.
Just get out of here.
Yeah.
Make him have to decide who to track.
I think you got to
I
run
like that
together.
too.
I think you got to run together because I think 2 people can beat up Gimp Man.
Well, then don't run. Beat up Gimp Man.
Yeah.
Your advice is not running if you're fighting Gimp
Because
Man.
you're going to then be tired when Gimp Man walks
Right.
to you.
Kira said that the encounter was the most terrifying experience of my life. That's a quote. Adding another quote, I've got the image in my head of him walking towards me and staring. Well, to be fair, you can't really.
Yeah, I mean, he could have been
Right.
looking over there.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got
He also could have had a wandering eye.
Yeah, you don't know that either.
And he could be a she.
I dread to think what would have happened if I had been on my own. I agree.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still really shaken up by it. As he walked towards them, he stopped and stood with his legs shoulder width apart and his arms out like he was proud, she said, like he wanted me to remember it. Well,
that
Now she's putting too much on him.
Too much
This
to
is,
it.
yeah.
I felt like he had a broken
childhood.
heart. Like
She also-
like she keeps. No, I
Yeah.
made that up.
Oh,
She
okay.
didn't say that. She does keep assigning qualities to him. He looked like he was
Yeah.
out of change.
His dad left when he was 5.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait,
Yeah.
I
He
think
looked like he was wondering why he couldn't trust people.
Yeah.
Or like she's also the type of person in the relationship with the guy, her boyfriend, like at a dinner party, be like, so he really hates swimming, and he's like, I don't really hate swimming. I mean, he's just got this water thing.
That's
and he's
when
like,
they eventually-
I don't really have a water.
When
thing.
Gimp Man gets caught, he's like, first of all, I'm not that proud. But I would say also, if you're out in a Gimp Man, you better be proud.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, you better have a certain
Proud of
little
who you are.
new boot goof
I
and
don't think
walk.
pride
to your-
goes with
Yes.
gimping, though.
Yeah, gimping ain't
Pride comes before the
gimping ain't
gimping.
easy, as they say.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
His
Kira's
gimp hand was strong, though.
Kira's experience isn't the first time the mysterious pervert has been, this is what they wrote, has been sighted in the area, yet authorities are still no closer to uncovering his true identity. How many times do you guys think Gimp Man has been reportedly, had a
Seen.
report of him scaring somebody or
Yeah.
being seen on the
How many
sidewalk?
Gimp Man sightings?
Since 2018.
Man.
What do you think? Since 2018, Kelsey.
Since 2018, 5-year span.
Now, I will say that the big headline is he's returned, inferring
There was a
he took
he's
a
been
time
gone
of
for a
hiatus.
while,
Sure.
or this isn't all
He
the
took
time.
a sabbatical.
Yeah. You know what? It's just for me sometimes.
I need to study. I can't. This gimping is so hard.
Give it ain't easy.
Gimping ain't easy.
I am going to go with 14.
14. Okay. Randy.
35 times
35?
Gimp Man has been seen.
62 times.
62 times? Okay.
Yeah. Terrorizing, they said.
Since 2018, Gimp Man has scared people or reported 16 times.
Wow.
Oh, girl. Way to
She
go,
knew it.
Kelsey Cook.
I feel like I'm good at these ones. I feel
Yeah,
like last
that's
time I
so
gave
good.
it
Oh, yeah.
accurate.
You were great
You
last
got-
time,
You
too.
vibe on these Gimp stories. A police search turned up nothing after Sunday's incident, and the suspect left no trace at the scene. Of course he didn't.
gloves.
He's in a Gimp.
He's in a condom.
Yes.
Nothing's
Yeah.
getting out.
He's full Dextered out. There's nothing's getting in or out of there.
Getting in or out.
Where was I?
Yeah.
Kira's father, Steve Elston Yates, appealed for help
Stephen
on
Elston.
Facebook. Steve Elton Yates is a
Stephen Elton Yates is a fan
longtime
of this
fan of ours.
podcast.
A
who
great
lives in
author,
Connecticut.
wonderful father,
Amazing
very nice
dude.
guy. Brings
The
food,
fact
when he
generous.
shows in New York, brings pizzas, brings pastrami.
Sends me wine on my birthday. I love Steve
He's the
Elton Yates.
sweetest guy ever.
Yeah,
so
sure.
the fact that this guy's name is
Steve
Stephen
Elston.
Elston and we can make a Stephen Elston Yates joke is perfect.
Yeah, I love
Incredible.
it. So anyway, back to Steve Elston Yates. That's Kira's father. He appealed for help on Facebook.
That's a
Some
great.
well, I don't know. Some would say as
That's
bad
a dad
as
move.
as bad as
That's
Gimp.
a dad
as bad as being
move.
Gimp Man.
Where do I go? I don't know who to talk to.
I know.
I gotta sell a couch and I gotta.
I
get
have
help.
a Wisconsin accent. I live in England.
I live in England.
What do I do?
I told my mother early in Facebook, I go, this is how I need you to think of everything you ever write. You're in a gym full of everyone you've ever known. Most of whom you've forgotten are in the gym. And whatever you say, you're talking to all of them. Now, if you need everybody's attention,
You're on a
in the gym-
microphone in front of the gym?
Yes,
No, a headset like you're teaching an aerobics class.
for
but
sure.
it's projected.
Whatever
Dan.
it is.
Have you not? Have you ever explored this on stage? This is very
Such
funny.
a great
No.
It's
idea.
really funny.
Really
No.
funny, Dan.
So if you're like, well, I guess Mondays suck. Expect someone that you haven't talked to in 10 years to be like, well, oh yeah, well my dog died, and you've now got a
This is a
deal.
bit, Dan.
Dan, this is a fully formed bit.
Oh, I
He's
don't-
ready
behind
to
the
go.
Yeah, Dan, from
Ready
behind
to
the
go.
squat rack.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Word economy, everything. It's
yeah.
perfect.
Dan, this is a bit.
Oh, that's very
It's
nice
tight.
of you
Love
guys. But yeah, I really wanted her to like. I'm like, this is how you need to think of
Yeah,
this.
Dan, it's like I hate Mondays, and then someone like from behind, like where the dumbbells are, is like, you can blame the liberals for that.
Right.
like, all right, okay, everybody.
And sometimes I told her, I go, sometimes it's not even going to be what you
Right.
wanted to talk about. Somebody's going to be like, you should have used a comma, and then you're going to be like, that doesn't have anything to do. So
Right.
the dad on Facebook who's like,
Yes.
everybody, I need help here. Like, you better want it.
It's a gamble.
Yes.
It's a gamble, and people are going to be like, "He's not that scary," and like, "Wait, Jeff, you're here?
Your old history teacher who doesn't believe in the vaccines about to pipe it.
You've always been a pussy, Steve Elston. You're like, what? Dude, I'm trying to help my dog.
My old wrestling coach? God damn.
He went on Facebook to find the man that he said he is, quote, on the hunt for him. This is total dad. I'm all go for it. Dad.
Yeah.
Go Steve Elston Yates. He added, last night my daughter and I'll just do it. Her daughter and her boyfriend were approached by a gimp man around 1 a.m. at the top of Claverham Road where it meets Yatton High Street, which is also perfect.
American accent.
He needs to give directions.
Yes.
Not past the blue house.
Over by the roundabout.
You know where that dog barks? Right around there.
There's a lot of northeast, southwest involved, and it just doesn't have
for
to.
sure.
Yeah.
You need to but stay close to the curb because people like to put their trash bins out.
If you see a white fence on your left, you're facing the wrong way. That's not where Gimp Man is. Then he wrote,
Do not park in the roundabout.
this is actually kind of smart. He then went on to say, could you PM me? Private message. I always go DM. People go PM. I know.
Bless
Could you PM me if you have any suspicions as to who he is? Also, could people in that area check their doorbell footage, please? And I'm like, hey,
That's smart.
That's okay.
yeah, a little
This is
detective
what
dad
the
here.
Bobbies should be doing in England.
Kira was absolutely terrified. She contacted the police, who didn't even come around to take a statement. So she said, quote, and we'll get out of here on this, I'll be on the hunt for the Gimp Man myself.
She will?
Kira's had enough.
I love that it's the most terrifying
Or maybe
thing
that's
in
a
her life.
continuation
I
quote
want
from
more of
the
that.
band.
Yes.
I'm going to hunt his ass down.
Oh, that's story number one.
Story number one.
Jeez, I love it.
Down in the books, when we come back from the break,
I think it's Randy. I think Randy.
It is
I think it is
Randy.
me. We're going to tell you how you can watch Kelsey Cook's new special.
Which, based on when this comes out, may already be close to being
about to
out.
be out.
About to be out. We'll
You're on
figure
the
it
tip.
out. We'll give all the dates and all that stuff. And if it's after the fact, she'll tell you how you can watch it. If it's before the fact, we'll do. All of that is coming up. She's a fantastic stand-up. If you haven't seen her live, this is your opportunity to consume the great stuff. We'll be back after this break to talk about that.
Stick around, make a sound, there's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Before we get into Kelsey's special and what she can do,
Did you say what she can do?
what you can do to watch it.
Listen, before we get into Kelsey's special and what
All the things
It's
she
just
can
me
do.
like juggling. It's just weird
She
shit.
can play
Can't-
foosball. She can do
juggle.
stand-up. She can make fun of her dad who plays the
She can
trumpet.
read on stage.
You can
Speed
throw
read.
really far.
I saw her walk in here on her own.
One time she rode a unicycle. Anyway,
So look, all the things she can do, all the things she
we'll
is
get
doing.
into it in a second, but first, let's talk about Daniel. Please let the folks know where people can
Oh,
see you.
I mean,
the
every
Houston
Wednesday
show.
Yeah, every Wednesday, Irene 2 and I have a show at the Lyric Comedy Hour. That's at 7:30 on Wednesday nights. And then Would You Rather Comedy, comics do their sets and at some point also get asked a random, or choose to, they can do it if they want. But it's a great way for people like me to create new material and stuff. You get a Would You Rather question on stage.
I love it.
And have to
That's
talk
great.
about that. Yeah. And then I'll be at Moon Tower. I'm doing stand-up shows there, a Living Wake, and a live Dumb People Town. I
Live Dumb
believe.
People Town. We'll talk about the guests. We'll figure out who will do that.
That's the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of April. Everything's at danielvankirk.com.
Everything for us is at supersklars.com. But just so you know, Lawrenceburg, Indiana, we're doing the Lawrenceburg Event Center
Nice.
on March 4th. That's a huge room. We'd love to see anyone in the Cincinnati, Louisville, Upper Indiana. I think Indianapolis is close, but come see us because we really love this hour of stand-up that we're doing. So that's happening on March 4th. End of March, we just booked Phoenix Stand Up Live. I love that room so much. The 30th,
It's a very big
31st,
room
and
also,
April
so
1st.
please
Big
come.
room, but we'd
Yeah.
love to see everyone in our Phoenix people come out for that. Then Moon Tower, as Dan said, we're going to be doing Dumb People Town. We're doing Tag It,
Oh,
which we
nice.
love. That
Yeah, I
have
love
you
that.
done that show? You did
Yes,
that show.
That was one of my favorite shows we did at Moon Tower. You remember we did that smaller.
Oh,
what was
yes,
it called?
it
The
was-
Velveeta room. Is that right? No.
Yeah.
No,
we
it's
did
a
it.
different venue, but I remember it. It's so fun. Comics do their sets, and then we write tags for the comics
During their set and then pitch
Yes.
them our
Pitch them the tags
It's
on
so
stage.
And they're
people
very
have
good.
walked away with great tags. It's really wonderful.
I have one of
We
my
had a
album.
blast.
By the way, we're talking to the Comedy Store about potentially doing a regular Tag It there, which would be really fun.
100%
So
It'd be so good.
maybe in the works. We'll let you guys know about that.
Then we're in Minneapolis. We're coming to Minnesota on
Hey.
May 18th, 19th, 20th?
Yeah, or 19th, 20th, 21st. So we'll be there and working on some coming back up to Alaska a couple times in the fall with some friends. So we'll sort of let you guys know about that. Again, still haven't heard about the nosebleeds yet. Fingers crossed we get to do another season of that.
As of this recording.
As of this recording. Hopefully
As of this recording. Yeah.
all right, so let's talk about the special.
Yeah.
How can people watch it? When does it come out?
Are you proud of it? Are you happy? How are you feeling?
Yeah, so it will come out on March 9th on YouTube. It's
Great.
called The Hustler. So it will be available everywhere on that day on YouTube. If you want to get it early, it will be available for purchase on my website, kelseycook.com, on Tuesday, February 28th. So exactly 2 weeks from when we're
Nice.
recording it. But
Yeah.
do we know when this is coming out?
We don't, but maybe we can adjust so that we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get it out as close as possible.
No
for
pressure,
you.
no worries.
This could drop on the 28th. So if that's the case, that
fun.
might actually work. So
Okay,
hopefully,
cool.
fingers crossed, we'll adjust.
Yeah.
Where'd you do it?
So I recorded it at Comedy Works in Denver.
Nice.
It's an okay club.
The best.
You know,
Downtown?
5 out of 10. No.
Downtown club?
Downtown, yeah,
That's sorry.
amazing.
You know, tier 1 of the tier 1 clubs.
It's
Oh my
really,
God,
yeah.
it's so good.
It's unbelievable. I did my album there a few years back, and it's just
The
Denver
best.
crowds are so good. And that room in particular, it's got the low ceiling. It just feels like you're being
Comedy heaven. You got to go
Yeah.
downstairs to go to comedy heaven. That's what
Very
we
true.
say.
Comedy on State, the Cellar. It's
I
all-
mean, what a
Yes.
great vibe and great energy. And did you feel that as you were recording?
Yes. So leading up to it was kind of strange because it was the Stanley Cup Finals on the exact same night as
And
my
the
special
Avalanche
taping,
were in.
and the Denver Avalanche were in it.
God.
So that's something that, of course, you can't prepare for. I mean, you
No.
pick the date of your
Months
taping
in
months in
advance.
advance,
Right.
And then we find out. I think it was like a week or two before.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm seeing all these messages pop up like in comments like, I've got tickets for Kelsey Cook's special taping for sale over. And I was like, no. Like all of my special
Jeez.
taping tickets
Oh
are,
my
everybody's
God.
giving them up because they wanted to either go to the game or just they would have rather sat at home and
Watched
watched
Yeah.
it
And it's gonna
because
be a
it's like
party
a
in the
massive,
city,
massive thing. So we did end up being able to get a bunch of people in there and pack it out. But the first show, we did 2 tapings that night. The first show was fantastic, such a great crowd. That is like basically what became
most
the
of it
special.
came from, right?
But then we had the second show, which you also hope is going to be great just to have if you want to pull other things.
Sure.
And what had happened was the Avalanche game had let out by that point. And so we got a bunch of people who were in a complete blackout.
Oh my God.
That were just because the stadium was like right or the
Right,
arena,
yes,
right by the
yes.
club, like
Yeah.
blocks within the
Yeah.
club. So people are just hammered walking around the streets like, well, what can we do? So they're see that there's a comedy
Poor
show.
woman is doing her special. We're going
fuck
to
it
walk
up.
in
Take
in
a
our
hot dump
Joe
on it.
Sakic jersey.
Yeah, so we had 2 women who were, I mean, like 3 rows back, like
Hockey
right
women.
Hockey
center,
drunks.
right up front.
Yeah.
And within the first 5 minutes of my set, just talking to me, just like
Nope.
loud,
Nope.
saying stuff to me, saying stuff to each other. And so I stopped the tape. I was like, hey, I'm just telling you guys right now, you know, usually if this was a different show, I'd talk to you, we'd do something else. But like, you guys either have to focus
Or get the
or
fuck
or
out.
go.
Wow.
Like, you
Right.
got it?
What'd they do?
And I'm looking at them, and you can just see like nobody's home.
Right.
Looking
one
in her
eye is
eyes.
over here. One eye is over here.
Jesus.
And so I try to get back into it, immediately start talking again. I'm like, all right, they got to go. So everything comes to a grinding
Oh
halt.
my God.
This is during a special
This
taping.
is insane.
I mean, yeah, people don't know that like that does not happen
No,
during
it
special
never
tapings
happens.
usually.
It doesn't help either.
Yeah, so everything comes to a halt. They are so drunk that it took them like a solid like 5 to 7 minutes just to get their stuff and leave
Oh,
because they're dropping stuff.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like baby deer wobbling out. I was like trying to see where they were. They were still had this long walk, and I said to them, I was like, ugh, glacial pace with you 2. And one of them turned around and like gave me double birds and flipped me off. And I was like, this is such a weird,
You're like,
I would have
Jesus.
never expected this to be part of the special
Yeah,
taping.
yeah,
So
yeah.
of course
But-
none of that's in the special, but
No,
that's
but
like
I
the
love
behind the
that.
scenes.
That should be some of the extras you
Yeah.
I know,
Buy it on
maybe
the 28th. Make this your conversation with these drunk idiots.
I know.
Extras. Oh my
Extras.
God.
All right, well, check it out.
So
The name of the
again,
special is The Hustler.
The Hustler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KelseyCook.com.
YouTube on March 9th, available for purchase. Purchase it. This is the way to support comedians.
Oh, that's nice.
Purchase
Thank
it
you.
on the 28th. That's how you support a comic. It's very easy to do. It gives yourself entertainment.
Yeah,
Thank
I would love
you.
it. And I'm sure it's a great special because I've been watching clips of your stand up and I just love where you're at with it right now. now, so I know it's going to be great. All right, shall we jump into another story?
Let's do story 2.
Okay, this one is sent in by our good friend Carlene McDermott at She Be Carlene. She's amazing. This story is for all of us who fly constantly, and I would put it to you throughout the entire time. What would you do? I'm going to keep asking you, what would you do if you were sitting next to this person?
I don't know this about. Are you guys American people?
No,
No, we're the
You jump
dumbest.
around. You jump around.
We're the dumbest
You never picked?
comedians ever. We didn't pick an airline because we have to split the money on every single gig, and even an extra $200, $300 on our flights hurts us.
Yeah.
So we go with the cheapest flight on the cheapest airline, and in the end, we fucked ourselves because we don't get to bump up to first class. We don't get to go to the lounge, and we travel as much as anyone. It's the dumbest thing ever. We
You
probably
should at least get
start
the,
now.
You guys
Just
feel
get-
like you should just start now, though? At least?
Yeah, we should. I mean, I think Delta would be it, but
Delta's
like, we
wonderful.
fly Southwest.
They don't fly
all the
direct
time.
to Chicago. That's my only reason I can't
That's
do
the
Delta.
thing.
Oh, okay,
So that's why.
Deltas.
But you just get the Amex Platinum card, and then you have lounges.
which
you
we
can go
have,
to.
and
Which
that
okay,
would get
so
us
some
to some
lounges you can hit. What's your airline?
Delta, and I've got the Amex, the Reserve, and the Platinum.
Yeah.
I did everything for Delta and Amex to try to bump up as many perks as I
And
could.
we'll be right back with more frequent.
Well, no, I asked because we're about to dig in. I'm a Southwest guy,
know.
so I'm
Are you
interested.
really?
Yeah.
What a savage.
They give you shorts.
Southwest guy.
Yeah.
They give you shorts.
I love it.
Okay.
Dan writes comedy for them.
Are you ready for the headlines here? The headline here. Business class passenger.
Okay. See.
So we're talking about a different
This is a-
Business class passenger is
Kelsey-
like the drunk girl at your show who's like, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
We don't give
care.
a shit.
Right.
It's her birthday. Shut up. Business class passenger booted off plane after warning cabin crew not to look at her for blank amount of time. We're going to get into it. I don't want to give it away.
What?
Don't look
Air-
at me for a blank amount of time.
So have you guys experienced air rage on any flight recently is what I'm asking.
It's been a couple years since I've really. But I got a buddy named Nick who's a gate agent for Southwest in
course you
Midway.
did, Dan. Of course
And
you
the
did.
stories he tells me,
Yeah, they
I'm
said
like,
Nick here and
he is a very
Is that guy?
very
Is that guy?
Southside Chicago guy. And
I'll
he's
get
like,
you
"No,
a couple of
we had a
Polish
guy."
sausages.
Before you got here, I had a guy that fucking came back to the
Of
gate. I had to
course.
go down there.
Dan's like, I want to hear all
Dude,
the stories.
everything.
Give me everything.
He's like, I walked this dude off this fucking flight. I go, hey, here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna kick everybody off this fucking flight, and the cops are gonna come in here and drag your fucking ass out.
Damn.
Now, you and I could leave real quick. And the guy, he goes, he looked at me and he's like, let's do this, brother. He goes, I go, okay. We step out into the jetway, and there's no cameras out there. I go, let's go.
Let's go, baby.
And he
Let's go.
goes, I got more things to say. He goes, you told me you were done talking to me.
I thought we were You told me you were
It's like a Clint Eastwood movie.
I know.
Nick's a badass guy, and so he's like
Nick
he's
was
just
a
very
Nicky.
he has this sort of things. They're like Vin Diesel things, but real life. Like where he looks at you and he's like, it's not gonna go. It's not gonna go the way you want it to go.
You're
It's
not
gonna
that
go.
guy.
I'm just telling you right now. It's not gonna go the way you want it to go.
Dan, no. Here's my question. Can they? So
You go, player.
we've met a lot of MMA. We've met UFC folks.
Nicest people.
Nice people, but
Never
they
wanna
like
fight.
But they don't want to fight,
Nope.
but they like fighting. So like Forrest Griffin's like, I liked fighting, that's why I got into MMA.
Of course, yeah.
So I think they don't want to fight in the real world because they're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get sued or whatever.
Right.
I think they should be the guys to come on to the plane and just be like, all right, so I have 14 professional MMA fights under my belt.
Let me just show you me in action in flight.
Here's footage of me in a thing. You want to step off the plane now? I'll take you out. And not mean, not imposing.
Because they'll be calm.
Well,
All
that's
right,
the cool thing.
But
Nick
just-
would
yeah.
never actually fight. He's like the nicest dude, but he just has an ability to go, we're not doing this today.
Yeah, you don't
And
want-
you can
you don't
tell by
wanna
looking
keep
at him, you aren't going to do that today.
I love it.
The calmer someone is, the scarier they
terrifying.
are.
100%. Okay,
That's
sorry, go
terrifying
ahead.
energy.
Freaking Gimp Man. Probably very calm. Anyway,
Too calm.
Air rage is at an all-time high, and this latest incident is no exception. Danielle DeMatos. Remember
Ooh,
her.
okay.
She's now.
Double D.
Tomato sounds like a brand of olives that are too spicy for
Too
me.
spicy.
To like.
Did you get the Tomatoes? Well, I'm not putting them in the salad. Are
No.
you kidding me?
like a new
it's going
type
to
of-
ruin the
Listen to
whole
me.
salad.
This is
Kristen
like
has
her.
IBS.
You got to
She'll
put her on the
leave.
side.
Yeah.
You got
Like
to
a
put her
new
on the
type
side.
of jardiniere.
All right, so she's a software company concierge. She had plans to fly from Sydney, Australia to Honolulu, Hawaii for work. However, a series of moody moments led to her getting kicked off the Hawaiian Airlines flights. So now, Hawaiian Airlines, they have a great new campaign where, have you seen this? Like, I don't know if it's because I watched The Bear, the first season of that, but I watch anybody who's a chef and I'm like, I feel like I know them now. There's a Hawaiian Airlines thing where it's like, there's this like woman who's a chef and she's working really hard. And then all of a sudden, like the walls of the kitchen open up and like someone walks in and puts a lei on her and she walks out of the kitchen and onto the flight and then it lands. It's like nice. Hawaiian Airlines
Height
is
of
calm.
hospitality, I would assume.
Hawaiian Airlines is calm.
Yeah.
You're going Hawaiian Airlines, you
better
don't
be
fucking
calm.
pull shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like people are going to a nice destination. According to the Daily Mail, travel troubles began upon boarding when the cabin crew directed we're going to get her age in a minute, woman to her economy seat,
Danielle.
prompting the accused to verbally abuse staff members. The cabin crew then realized they had made a mistake. So they were like, here, we go to your seat right here. As D'Amatos booked a business class ticket. So this is what...
She's like you
the
already started with a mistake on my part.
You know people like that who, the second you make a tiny mistake, they feel disrespected.
Yeah.
You do.
Of course.
What's his name? What's her name? Shortly after the cabin crew realized they made a mistake as D'Amatos booked a business class ticket and directed her to the correct seat where she calmed down. So you as a flight attendant, you're like, okay. They go back to the little drink cart in the front and they're like, all right, that bitch has calmed down a little bit.
Sure.
Keep an eye on her, but she calmed down.
Yeah.
Shortly after the cabin crew took an alcoholic drink prematurely. This is great. So they took
she wasn't finished.
She wasn't done.
Okay.
Which caused the accused to become verbally abusive towards staff members, according to documents tendered in the Downing Center local court.
There's documents about this.
Oh, yeah. The accused mood changed quickly, and she was then apologetic and remorseful after this. See, this is where you got to be
These are all the
careful.
stages of being drunk, too.
I feel like there's drinking with medication involved here.
Yes.
That might be it. You
This
might have
feels
crossed
like
the streams.
personality disorder.
I'm mad. I'm fine.
Psychosis.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
You're the best. I love
This
you
is
so
a
much.
scary-
I'm
You're
now
my
crying.
friend. You're my friend. I don't like him. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, to bring this person into the I don't like that person. We don't like him.
Come here. Tell him I don't like him.
We don't like him. No, I'm not with you on this.
Let's dance.
It wasn't long before her mood shifted yet again.
No shit.
She was fine, then it shifted again.
This is a toddler.
To me, this is like emotional turbulence in turbulence in B class. As the plane started to taxi towards the runway, D'Amatos began staring down the crew member who had previously taken her drink.
Wait, we haven't taken off?
No, this all happened in the seating.
Oh, so she had a drink.
Sheesh.
She got a drink as
When?
they're sitting.
When they're sitting while they're waiting for the plane to get loaded up.
Business class can get
Yeah,
a
And
they'll-
finished
they'll
it
come up.
in, or almost finished it in.
and they're like, we need to collect this.
oh,
to
I
take
see,
off.
I see.
Right. She was performing the in-flight. As the woman was performing the in-flight instructions, she starts staring her down. Now, again, Dan, if you're sitting Kelsey, you're sitting next to this woman who's just like giving her the
Just shaking.
freaking eye.
Yeah.
That's all it took. You don't take a drink away from this woman at no reason at all. The stare down left the stewardess feeling intimidated.
Yeah, no shit.
But according to the statement of the facts, this is where things get interesting. As a result of these interactions, the cabin crew advised the captain of the accused behavior. The captain formed the view that the accused erratic and disorderly behavior presented a risk to the safety
Well,
of
it's
the
only going to
aircraft.
get worse.
Right? Like,
We haven't even taken off yet.
Yeah, this is where you are.
whoever the
before we
captain,
leave.
he or she was probably like,
Get her off.
We can't. This is
Also-
where it started.
How long of a flight are we talking here? Because it sounds like a pretty
He
long
was
From
in
one.
the headline, but
Australia
you hadn't
to
said.
Honolulu.
Right.
No,
so,
but also you're over water. There's no like.
Yeah.
guessing
Like,
we're not
we got to
landed.
make sure everybody's in an okay
I'm guessing
mindset.
that's about a 7-hour
The
flight.
captain decided it was
Yeah.
best to return the aircraft to the terminal and offload D'Amatos. So you're on the flight. You know it's going to be a long flight, and now you're returning back to the
Because
terminal.
a crazy lady, I would
Allow the passengers to everyone to get a shot in.
just
right?
one just pop in the back of the head, not hard, but just enough
Like an
to
up-
like a
an
up
upward?
smack, like
Yeah.
you dummy, like you dummy, like a bad kid, like
Yeah.
whoop.
Or just a low key, like, hit the shoulder as you walk by.
Yeah,
in
hit
the
her hard
aisle.
enough.
You've got the big backpack. You
Yeah,
take a swing of
definitely
it.
swing that one over.
Swing it, take the
Yeah.
wind
I
out
don't
of
want
her.
to hurt
knock her in
anybody,
the
but I
face.
want him to go, hey.
Yeah.
Maybe break her nose, like by mistake with like the.
Well, that's a
backpack.
harder turn.
Another
Like we're all like, we just want to rough around. You're like, let's like make her bleed and like make
Dude,
me
if she made us go back to
Jason
the gate,
rolls hard.
Jay does not like to go back.
I wanted to kill the gimp man. I'm getting out all kinds
Too
of
hard.
anger.
Too hard. Jay
it's-
goes too hard.
No, it's the selfishness of both people in these two stories. The fact that you're carrying out something that you think has no effect on anyone
Wouldn't you
else,
just
but yet
look
it
at
has
her
an effect
and
on
go-
everybody.
Wouldn't you
Right,
look at her
exactly.
and go, Danielle, we're going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Let's just
Calm down.
Chill the fuck out.
Danielle
Yeah.
D'Amatos.
Bitch, be cool.
Bitch, be
You would
cool.
If we're flying
be
to
cool.
Pittsburgh or anywhere in Florida,
You could be
I could
mad.
see some sort of like, oh, who knows? You could be going, we're going to Hawaii.
This is where you
No
bring.
shade on
good.
Pittsburgh, but like it's
Life
not
is
it's
good.
not the relaxation destination.
I'm
of
not
the world.
rooting for roofies, but if I was like a thing, I'd be like, just knock her out. Like, give her a roofie.
Give her,
have
give her like
give her
eight
3
Xanax in a
Sure.
thing.
Let's, on the borderline of like an overdose, but enough to just
Give
get
her back
out.
the drink.
Jay goes too
We can
hard.
pump her stomach later. This is where you bring Samuel Jackson on the plane. He's like, "Bitch, be cool. Bitch, be cool."
That's it. Just
Say what again, Daniel?
7 or 8.
Bitch, be cool.
Dan, 7 or 8. I'm not saying stomach pump,
No,
but I'm saying like
7 or 8
out
families.
for like enough hours to make her family concerned.
So another
That's it.
female cabin member approached her to explain what was going on. And you can imagine that was not well received.
No.
During this, she placed her hand on the accused's shoulder to calm her. The stewardess placed her
that's
hand on the
ominous.
shoulder to calm her, which caused the accused to act aggressively towards the crew member,
Don't
the
touch
statement
me.
said. Yet you don't put your hands on a person who's like locked in a death stare
Yeah.
with somebody else. DeSantos' time on the plane lasted all of how many minutes? Her
Start
total
to
time
finish.
start before she was kicked off.
Business
What do we
class, you got to figure she got on at least one of the first or second group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're making it to the runway, so that means everybody boarded, and they were theoretically about to take off. I'm going to say 22 minutes.
Okay, Jay, what do you think?
41 minutes.
46 minutes.
One of you is 1 minute off.
Ooh.
So we get
So
to
you get to
change.
switch
Go
up or down.
I'm
Go
gonna
up
go.
or
I'm
down.
gonna go Michael Jordan.
23. What do you think?
40.
40. What do you think?
45.
Okay.
I feel that feels good.
One of you is exactly right.
Oh.
There we go. DeSantos' time on the plane lasted all of 45 minutes.
I told
It's
you it
good.
felt right when you
Kelsey
said it.
Cook is good at this.
She's
All
on
right.
fire.
Before Hawaiian Airlines
thing.
Airport operations staff came on board to order Ms. D'Amatos to leave the aircraft upon a refusal to vacate the plane, they called airport police for help. She said no. Like, I wonder
Airport
if
police. Look,
these guys look at her?
If you followed me enough, you know how I feel about current state of affairs. However, there are plenty of police officers that at least get to like do something good,
Right.
Where they're like, oh, we're here to help,
here to
whatever
help.
it is, right?
Right.
If you're airport police, it's never good.
Yeah.
There's never
Never a
anything.
positive.
It's yes. There's
You're never
maybe
gonna-
every once in a while you're getting to help find a lost kid.
You're never going to
That's
get
like-
like
that's gotta be
or get
it,
a
though.
cat off the wing. That's not going to happen.
There's no part of it that is ever like.
There's no positive.
Oh, what do you need us for? Oh, wonderful. We'll be right there. And I'm sure they will be right there, but it's never
So-
fun.
Someone
Federal.
baked us a cake that we're all going to eat.
What?
Yeah.
Right. So Australian federal police officers came to take D'Amatos away. She was belligerent, but eventually walked off the plane on her own accord. So they got her to walk off on her own accord. D'Amatos' action delayed the flight for more than how long?
This is where I'm like,
Well, she's on for 45 minutes.
How long did it delay the flight? Because you know it could then go on for so much longer.
yeah, you lose your place in line, then you got to get into
Well,
a new
even
But,
once
like-
they get her off, they still have to do a report. With
Then they have
the-
to get her
with
bag off underneath. Find her.
No, let that shit go to
That should
Hawaii.
just go to Hawaii.
Gone. You now go through the system. to get it.
Yeah.
We're not going to deny your bag this trip.
So we're talking about how we're talking about how much time from when she got kicked off
Yeah.
to when they took
So,
off.
Or just how long they were
overall,
delayed
how
in
long
general.
did she delay?
They were
this
supposed to
whole
take off
flight?
at 3. They took off.
Yeah,
I'm going to say
it took-
4:30. An
Okay,
hour and a half.
What do you think?
3 hours.
What do you think?
3 hours is nice.
40 minutes.
40 minutes. Okay. It caused the flight to be late for more than an hour. Just
Okay,
an hour.
okay.
She's right again.
Right,
Right in between you. Upon deliberation, she was arrested and charged. D'Amatos pled guilty to one count of behaving in an offensive or disorderly manner. I didn't even know that was a
Oh,
thing.
you're on your airplane law.
affecting safety when she appeared before the magistrate. This is such a great name for a magistrate. Theo Savaridis.
Theo Savardidis?
TheoTsavdaridis.
Sheesh.
Theo
Correct.
Savardovas.
That is
You
very
moved on to the next round.
Savardovas convicted D'Amatos and fined her how much money? How much was she fined for this whole
$1,500.
$1,500. What do you think,
good, Dan? I want to say $5,000,
What do you think?
Yeah.
and that's not enough.
$7,000.
$7,000. All right, get your answers in, townies. She was fined $600. That's it.
Not
My
enough.
initial feeling was
They're
500.
fed up.
Think
There's
long,
an
think long.
increase. It's like a stress. So we're going to get out of here on this.
Oh,
This
okay.
crazy.
Oh, how old is she?
How old
Oh.
is crazy D'Amatos?
I'm going to go 42.
42 years old.
Yes.
Knowing what we know about her, she's in B class.
Right.
She got her feathers
But
ruffled
she
and
also
rankled.
seems to be by herself, so this is her like eat, pray, love trip.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She wants to hike a waterfall.
Drink, pray, hate.
Go into a
Drink,
pray,
pray,
hate.
hate. Drink,
Drink,
pray,
pray,
hate.
I feel like that would have been my guess. I'm going to say 44.
Dan, that's the dumb people down version of Eat, Pray, Love.
Just
Doing-
drink, pray, hate.
I'm going to say she's 36.
Okay. One of you is exactly right. Ooh. Now, do you want to guess who's exactly right? Do you want to stay with
Well,
your...
I feel like it's in the 40s, so I'm going to go 40. I'm sticking with myself. 42.
Okay, you said 42 and
Yeah.
you said
I'll stick with
44.
44.
44. And are you going to stay with
36.
36?
Right.
Okay, get your answers in, townies, because Drea D'Amato. No, that's...
Danielle.
Drea De Matteo.
Danielle D'Amatos,
Yeah.
software company concierge who had plans to go from Sydney, Australia to Honolulu for work.
Yeah.
This is a work trip now.
Yeah,
This isn't her.
Still Honolulu.
and got thrown off the plane after 45 minutes and keeping it delayed
Over
for
an
an
hour.
hour
Yeah.
and
I hope
really
she got
upsetting
fired.
everybody.
I hope she got
gets
fired.
fired too. Is 36 years old.
Fire her. Fire her.
Oh, I'm sure
Man.
she's not nobody's concierge.
That is so
Crazy.
younger than I thought.
And you would be so mad, and that would be your Daniel. I know you. That would be your opening 10 minutes of your set.
Oh my god!
Whatever you did would be on
I
this
would talk
crazy
about
bitch.
it that at the Blue Note that night.
Right.
Let's
we
go.
can talk about that
Yes.
night.
And have a fully formed bit.
And have a full. Dan would have a fully formed bit ready to go. Jay, give us a little taste of what we're going to hear in segment 3.
An interesting way to chase away a Jehovah's Witness.
Great.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
Okay.
And we're always looking for those new ways.
All you have to do is shut the door.
I know. I'm going to remind
Or
it
don't
once
answer.
again. Kelsey Cook's special, The Hustler,
Hustler.
is available for purchase on our website on February 28th. If this drops on the 28th, go get it right now.
sure.
Get in between this break, pick it up, and then you can watch
Even
right
if
afterwards.
it's out wide on YouTube, I bet you could.
Out
share
wide on
support.
YouTube on March
If you're
9th.
watching this on
Thank
YouTube,
you.
just hop over and watch that too. But I say purchase it.
There you go. We'll be right back with more Dumb People Town right after this.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Let's do story number 3.
Let's
all right.
do it.
Here's the headline: Naked woman chases Jehovah's Witness off her porch down the street, yelling, "Quote: Succumb to my devil vagina magic."
Okay.
That's the whole story.
She's a hero.
I don't know if I need to do the story.
I know,
I know,
right?
this is
It
made
sounds like
up.
he's doing a mad gap.
I know.
Did you call it a mad gap?
Gab.
Oh, mad gap.
I always hear Mad Lib.
Mad
Yeah,
Lib.
it is. Yeah.
I said mad lib.
Yeah.
I heard mad gap, and that also could be describing her.
Sure.
vagina.
Yeah, for sure.
This was sent in by David P. Fournier at DP Fournier 2.
This is the first time I think David Fournier.
Thank you, David. This is from Fillmore, California. Brandy Williams.
Do you know where Fillmore? Fillmore's where we shot Bubble Boy.
That's right. So not far from here.
Not far from here. It's like up by Magic
Simi Valley,
Mountain.
kind of Simi Valley.
You kind of take
Yeah,
off
yeah.
and go up around.
Brandy
Magic.
Williams. Talking about Brandy Billy.
Brandy. Whoa,
Brandy's are
fine
always
girl.
a little.
A little.
Like this name doesn't shock me that she.
Like
did
when
this.
your name is alcohol, you're going to have problems.
That's right.
Brandy Williams.
You know
I went
my
to high
daughter
school with-
Cognac.
I went to high school with a Brandy, and she wouldn't let me into her party.
Brandy.
Yep, so-
Old Schnapps McGee.
The nicest Brandy we ever met, the coolest Brandy we ever met, Brandy Chastain from the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Olympic women's
Oh, yeah.
soccer team.
she was
the coolest.
Yes,
Yeah, she's holding up the average of Brandy.
She's
And Brandy, who didn't let me into her party, we're
Brandy
good
Carlisle?
friends
I was
now.
gonna say Brandy Carlisle.
Yeah, Brandy
maybe I take
Carlisle.
it back. She's.
There's some high averages, but then there's some wild. It's like Sherry. You got your Otaries, but then you also got like Sherry.
Sherry.
That
Jay
I
and
know,
I
it's
were
your
on a
whole
golf
thing.
course in
As soon
St.
as I
Louis.
said it.
This is it.
And we drove by another golf court that was going a different way, and this is the only piece of the conversation we heard. And
One guy saying to another guy.
One guy,
was
first
like-
of all, he's wearing cut-off jean shorts
And
on the
no
golf
shirt,
course.
no
on a
shirt on
golf
the golf
course,
course.
drinking a beer, drinking a Bud Light.
Is it
And
Burr
he's-
Kreischer?
Yeah.
or anybody in St. Louis.
He says this is the only part of this conversation we heard, and we repeated this for decades. He goes, "Well, that's Sherry for you."
Which is all you need to know.
Sherry for you. What did she do
She
again?
set the carnival on fire.
I'm like, I get Sherry. In that one comment, I get it.
She got drunk and fell asleep at work.
Yep,
again.
that's Brandy for
One of
you.
the two women at your special, probably a Sherry.
Probably.
Or
I
a
bet one
Sherry
of them was
adjacent name.
Sherry and Brandy.
Cheryl.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Succumb to my demon vagina?
Yeah.
Death magic or something.
My devil vagina magic. She was taken to Ventura County Jail after an altercation involving two Jehovah's Witnesses. Ms. Williams was seen running naked after the two young men on bicycles who were going door to door to spread the message of Christ in her neighborhood. She saw the men about 3 houses away from hers and decided right then and there to strip off her clothes and
So you only know that if she says that, or someone's in the living room with her.
Give these guys a piece
a memory they will not soon forget.
I give these guys a piece of her vagina.
Unlocked.
I guess.
This is what the sheriff said.
You
This
didn't
is
need
so
to go
great.
that hard. Like, just answer the door with one tit out and don't acknowledge it. Because they'll be too awkward to, like, say anything. And
God, I wish I had the fucking audacity to do that.
And just be like, you guys want something to drink? Maybe some milk? And then don't even. All right. Ms. Williams
Chase
thought it would
them
be
off.
funny to answer the door in the nude and shock
is
these
funny.
young men. The two
People
men
do
sat.
not like
Don't
to be
chase.
talked to at their door.
You're allowed to answer the door however you
The
want.
two men sat
think
stunned
it's your
on her
property.
porch
I guess
for a
that's
brief
true.
moment before returning to their
chasing.
bicycles. They're familiar with folks. They are familiar with folks being nude, but what Miss Williams did next went a little too far. The men, Luke and John. Sorry.
Perfect.
Sure.
Of course.
We're used to people being rude,
Right.
slamming doors and even yelling at them. But for a naked woman to greet them at the door, that was quite a shock. Neither one had seen a woman naked before. Do we have to put?
Do
this
we
in the
need to put
article?
that in the...
Well, they kept saying it probably.
And they didn't quite know how to respond.
I never understood being mean
Now
to
this is the
Jehovah's
article.
Witnesses.
Dan.
I've done things where I was like, hey guys, at some point in your life, you will probably and hopefully question all this. And if that day comes, remember this address and I'll answer any questions.
Yeah, I'll help you get back to
'Cause
where you
then
need to go.
That to me is a little like, and if they never question it and they live nice lives where they only treat people great and they treat themselves fine, go for it. I don't
Yeah.
care. Live
You
your life.
planted a seed.
Whatever. Yes, but I do want you to know if someday questions creep in,
Come back.
knock on this door then, and we'll have a different conversation.
I'll say neither one had seen a woman naked before.
Here's my tip.
They didn't know how to respond. Come on. Not to mention the strange erotic sensations they were feeling for the first time as well.
Shut up.
How is the
do we
article?
know that?
Shut
That's
up.
in the
That's not
article.
in there.
Dan, that is in the
That
article.
is
not in the
much.
article.
That
Come
is
on.
created
That
in
is
the
not
Dave's
in the
It's
article.
way too much.
It was quite
Journalistic.
obvious that their message was not going to
person
be
needs
heard.
an editor.
This person's taking some liberties
Yeah,
with this article.
exactly.
That it was time to move on to the next one. When the men returned to their bikes, Brandy wasn't done yelling or trying to get under their skin. With all of her skin, a nude Brandy started speaking of her vagina and the devil's magic it can tend. Take a good look at my P-U-S-S-Y.
We can say it.
Pussy. Succumb to my devil vagina
I'm more
magic.
offended by P-U-S-S-Y.
It does
exactly.
feel.
That feels terrible.
That was the pussy way out to say that.
It
So
was.
You pussed
take
out.
But that is how they spell it. P, then asterisk, then SSY. Succumb to my devil vagina magic. This got the attention of the pair of men. That got
That
their
got the
attention.
attention? Hang on a second. Is there devil's magic going on down there?
So then they began to fear what may happen next and began to pedal away. So they were cool with this naked woman answering
All right,
the door.
lady.
Well, they say they get that a lot.
Yeah, all right, lady. Okay.
Brandy
Okay.
took off running after them, but she did not make it too far as the neighbors had already informed police of an altercation involving their neighbor and the two young men. She was apprehended without incident after having their statements taken when the men were free to go spread the word of God.
How funny would it be if, as she's walking back, she sees one of her neighbors? Hey, Dave, listen, can you just take that recycling can back?
For sure.
She tries to have a normal.
I need a cat sitter 2 weeks
Also,
from today.
I
Do you
hope
mind?
this is her all the time, not even just for them. Like, you're on a date with her, with Brandy, and she's like, "Well, my pussy is devil magic."
It is
So-
full of devil magic.
So if you guys want to see her, I don't have her age or anything, but
Brandy, I saw
Hey,
her.
guys.
Wow, that's exactly what I pictured her.
this is
looking
what
like.
you would think she would. We'll
That's
throw her picture
exactly
up
what
on
I
the side.
pictured her
She
looking
But
looks
you can
amazing.
see even in that mugshot, confidence.
Confidence, yeah.
All right. Hey, Jim, Patty, I'm going to be out of town for the next couple weeks. If any packages come floating on my door, if you could
With
just
her arms behind her back,
you could
cops
just
leading
take
her way.
that.
Well, you guys did it. You caught the brandy pussy magic. Look at her. She looks like it's a chagrin.
It's a smirk.
Yeah.
She's got a what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? What were my options is her look on her face.
She's got a devil pussy magic make hair attitude about the
She's got a devil pussy on my mind. I believe that was Beck who
story.
said that.
Nice.
There you go. Story number 3. These were great. I love it.
day.
And I always love goofing around with you. Thank you
it's
for
so
The
fun.
Hustler. The Hustler comes
Yes,
out on
thank
your
you.
website.
Yes, kelseycook.com, and my tour dates are on there too. I'll be in Cincinnati, Kearney, Minneapolis, San Francisco, Denver, and Chicago, all coming up in the next month or two.
Great.
go.
Love it. Go see her. She's wonderful. And if you're drunk and you're coming from a hockey game, don't.
Yeah.
Fucking
But everybody else, you can
sleep.
go see it. And guys, oh shit, we got to get back to work.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.